can choose to believe that all fingers share camaraderie, but do not force your romance upon the rest of us.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Dark Souls 3 PvP content, and we are still technically in the Mound Makers, but this is my second session, and there's going to be a lot of times where I get invaded. Because I was standing here looking for Mound Maker invasions, and I kept getting back-to-back invasions, which was really nice. The build is a little bit different, as you can see. I have changed his attire to something that's a little different. It's a little bit similar to the one I was wearing at the end of my blind playthrough, because I really like the look of it. And I have gone with the combination of a very slow strength weapon and a fast, quick quality weapon, which is going to be a longsword, which is the Lothric Knight Sword, because it's the one I actually wanted to make a build with. And I now know that after 2 hits of a stunlock from an R1 spam, I can parry and get a riposte. So I'm not going to hopefully fall into as many of those traps, and you're going to see an improvement in the quality of my gameplay. I have an offhand cestus that has blessing on it. It's blessed via infusion, and it gives me a little bit of regen. I've popped it on there so that it does something, because all I'm doing with that offhand cestus is occasionally using perseverance to poise through the first hit and punish people, but I'm using it 99% of the time to parry, as this guy completely murders me with his dark sword, because it's a really, really strong weapon. And you need to be careful, especially when lag is involved, and lag for me is always involved, because unfortunately my internet's terrible. But you might be saying, Chris, well, why did you join the Epidemic of longsword users? Well, here we go, skateboard sword on the face, doing really good damage, eating my words from the previous video. That's probably the one build I've seen use it well. And I didn't know how to parry it at this point, so you're not going to see me parrying it. So instead, you're going to see me swapping between the machete and trying to get a quick punish backstab, but it doesn't work, because everybody recovers on this game way too quick. But believe it or not, guys, when I picked up the Lothric sword, and I noticed they had the double poke on its R2s, it reminded me instantly of the Boulder Side Sword. And one of my favourite weapons in Dark Souls 1 to PvP with was the longsword. It wasn't the best weapon in the world, but it had the utility of having really good moves. And this is essentially just a longsword. So when I was going to pick one, I didn't want to pick the dark sword because I don't really like how it looks. And I wasn't too bothered about the longsword because it's a little bit lighter than this, and it would have enabled me to do some creative things. But I might change in the future. So I went with the one that I like the most. And the thing that I like the most about this weapon is something you're just not going to see too much of. As me and that guy trade, he wins, GG sir. Never stand with your back to the entrance, brother. It will end badly every time. The great thing about the Lothric sword is that it has 110 critical, which is the same critical as a rapier. So it does incredible damage on its ripostes. I have it reinforced with refined, so it gets stats from both my quality and my dex, which are now 35 each, because I'm now level 110. There is a very easy to predict parry, and then is a one-shot with the Hornet Ring, because the Hornet Ring works. You have to try not to get parried. This is a guy practicing his parries and showing his flask is empty. I'm not too sure why. I stand behind him and he doesn't react. And he's got his trusty dark sword, because you're going to see a lot of that. It's a really good weapon, why not use it, yeah? And I don't know what this guy's doing. I think he's in his menus. I'm here to kill, and I'm going to kill, so you need to kill me, sir, or this is going to end badly for you. The long swords are really strong, we know this. The straight swords, sorry, I should be saying, as this guy runs away. The thing that I really like about having one on me when I was playing this was that I could use it to chase people down. I could use it to catch the end of rolls a lot better than the strength weapons. And it also has the skill to break guards. I'm not going to use the skill early on in these videos, but later on, it becomes so important for those people that strafe towards you with the shield up, because they always dodge the kick. Or the kick misses because it's got no range, or insert whatever the reason, but the kick just doesn't work as it should. Well, when you do that skill, it comes out so fast that people just don't expect it. So you get that shield break and you get that crit, and when you're using weapons like a machete to change stuff, you could do some real good damage. That was weird. I got poised then in the roll. Maybe that was the old poise working as he skateboards me. It does some good damage, but I'm not too concerned because it's a very predictable weapon, this one. So we'll see what we can do. He charged the R2. You've got to give him props. I did an R2 instead of trying for a backstab because you know it would have missed. I'm trying to catch his rolls. He does a great rolling R1. gets me there on the edge of my animations, and then he chugs, which is, you know, up to him. I usually abstain from it when it's my world until they do it, and then I'm fine about it. But I've already said, and I'm going to stick to it, guys, healing is in the game. If they wanted it not to be done, they would have taken it out. Whenever you got invaded, they would have turned the flasks off. They can already do that. They know how to do that. They didn't do that. So we cannot think or assume that everybody's going to do the same thing. So that guy goes down, GG. And then I come up against... I forget the name of this dude, but this is the dude that hits me 3 times with the claymore. So this guy is a pretty good fighter. See what I mean? I couldn't get out of that. I don't know why that happened. Normally in this game, I think, if you get hit twice, it's your fault. You know? Because the first hit hits you, and then the second hit hits you because you're stunned, and then you get out. But that hit me 3 times. So I was kind of really confused, so I went into a mode of trying to see if I could parry him, and it didn't work too well. But that guy never healed. He played with all the stipulations that you expect from people when it's 1v1, and he destroyed me really well. I always feel for Mound Makers when that happens, poor guys. I know the struggle of being a Mound Maker, as we invade a man with an offensive name. He's wearing the full Onion Knight armor, and he's using the Demon Great Axe. So, this axe really hurts. I didn't need to tell you that, you already knew that. I've got my poison daggers on, which are essentially to bait people into coming towards me. If I can bait you successfully, I can get a parry, and the fight will probably be over. And that's what I'm doing. Watch what this guy does when I chuck stuff at him. He swaps to Pyromancy, which is clever, because Pyromancy can contest with the knives. And if you watch this, he misses twice, and then instead of locking on, he does it to his feet. I had a cue there of what he was going to do, and I didn't react to it, because I didn't give this guy the credit he deserves. He was a much better player than I thought he was. Do you notice how he span before he threw it? That tells you he's not locked on. But for some reason, I just didn't react. That was close. I go into the combo, trying to catch him with the R1s, trying to frame advantage him, catch his rolls, and we end up getting the vertebra. This is the person who invaded me as a Mound Maker, who I parried when he did the roll attack. So now we're going to see if this guy's learned his lesson. So he goes for a couple of normal swings, we put a couple hits his way, nothing comes of them. He does the R2, I throw a dagger, he rolls, I throw another dagger, he rolls again, I throw a quick slash out there, he does the thrust, does the second thrust, I should have got 2 hits, I don't know why I didn't, I catch the roll, he's going to swing, there's his parry attempt, there's my parry attempt, dagger, roll, and there's the poke. That was a nice counter hit. Oh, he did the roll attack, what am I doing? It's coming again, yeah it was. They can't help it. And it's such an easy thing to parry, but the problem with it is you get so eager to punish that you can't help but roll. And this is the same fellow again. So now, I've parried his roll attack twice. I'm hoping he's not going to do it again, because he knows I'm going to punish it. So he's going to space me a little bit, I throw a dagger, and he does it again. And it's just that thing of... We all do this, guys. We all get set in our ways, where we, for whatever reason, don't play well. And we do that obvious thing that gets us punished, and then we come back into the world really eager to win, playing on tilt, playing angry, and we do the same thing again. And he might have not have been angry or any of those things, but after you got killed twice for that mistake, I would have done R2s on my rolls, but that's just me. But you see this? You see that? 3-hit combo with the claymore, and I don't know why. I was mashing roll the entire time, and I got nothing, and it's one of those weird moments of, I think it's because he hit me on a counter hit the first hit, and it just enabled me to be in enough stun for him to get his standard 2 hits afterwards. Whatever that is, it's rare, but it's happened to me about 3 times, and I want to know what it is because I need to find out how to do it. 3 hits with a fucking greatsword is a ton of damage, and it'll be good against hosts and gankers. So this guy runs away, and I'm going to poise parry him, because you cannot spam in this game. Well, you can, and it's incredibly effective, but if you're in a connection where you can do what I just did then, you will punish them every time. And if you don't know about the mechanic and how it works, it's going to get you every time. Like that guy, I thought he'd roll attack, but apparently that's not what this guy likes to do. He does his standard 2 hits with the Executioner Greatsword. There was the roll attack, but I would have to parry late because of how slow that weapon is. A lot of the parries in this game can be sight parried. It's really bizarre, but that's how the game works. And you need to learn them. You need to get into that state of mind where you understand just how slow you have to do it. So this is an interesting opponent. He doesn't do anything impressive, and then he starts using the taunt, which is... A lot of people will say that it's disrespectful and rude. Some people think it is. I don't really have an opinion on it personally. I see it as a baiting tool, which you can use to do interesting things. This guy hits a ton of hits on me, which is awesome for him, and I'm going to heal because he healed. And then I'm going to try and parry. I don't know why I didn't parry that. That was weird, but, you know, it happens. We'll get over it. And then he's doing it again. And it's just like, I don't get it, dude. You healed first. You're not doing anything impressive. You're spamming R1 on a two-handed sword. You don't seem to be using the taunt as bait to roll backstab me or anything, so I don't really get what the strategy is. Do you think he's just trying to frustrate me? Because it wasn't working. I just put on my longsword and chase him down because I'm faster than you. See you later, dude. Like, what the fuck? If you're going to keep mashing buttons, you're going to get put down, but what do you think he was doing? Do you think there was some method there? Do you think there was some kind of idea behind it, or do you think he was just being silly? I was laughing, don't get me wrong, because I was just like, what's this guy doing? Normally when people start taunting, there's usually... That was good. I misinterpreted the angle thanks to his invisible ring, and he got a really nice hit on me. And if you're wondering why he's using a broadsword, it's because it's fucking godlike. The broadsword is super strong in this game. It has way more range than it should, and this guy's even buffed it, which tells you it's going to do some serious damage when it lands. Double roll. Couldn't even catch the roll. That's crazy. And I always intentionally delay my swing to try and catch them as they're coming out. That could have been a parry, but it looks like he's doing the R2. You see that? I don't know. I've never used the broadsword, so I couldn't tell you if that's what that is. Yeah, I think he's doing the R2 there. And he caught me again. Kudos to this dude, but he keeps coming in, doesn't he? That's the problem. His aggression is he's always trying to be first. If I try to be first, I'll win. And that's how you win. Oh, this is the one where I healed by accident. Damn it. That was such a good fight, too. But it happens, you know? It just happens. I wanted to send him a message, but then I realised it took 9 million screens, so I'm just like, fuck it. I'll tell him in the video if he ever watches this. I had no intentions of healing then, dude. You were playing great. You were doing really well. It was really close. It was a nice fight, and I fucked up. So, GG. Sorry about that. This guy I'm in love with. Anybody who has the balls to swing this hammer like he was doing and then not roll away quickly gets kudos in my book. Because it takes a lot of balls to do that in this game when everybody's using long swords. The parry would have been great, but I did it too early. That parry was too late. This guy's wearing the standard, is it warrior starting gear? Love it. He's going to parry? Yeah, he did. I tried to punish it with a backstab, but I was way off. I still got a couple of damage on him, though, which is nice. He's going to swing. Can always tell. Swing again, and he's out of stamina. No? Oh, wow, 3 swings. GG, dude. I'm throwing the knives to irritate him, to force him to come close. This guy didn't bite at all, which is really smart, because the knives just don't build up. The knives are just annoying, that's all they are. They're not going to be a big type of damage. But unfortunately, he just didn't have the life to compete. And then this guy comes back again, and you're always afraid when you've healed on somebody that they think you're a healer. And I say that to him as a healer. You know, I've got nothing against healing whatsoever. It's just if somebody doesn't heal when I'm fighting them, I will try not to too, because I generally try and respect that rule unless I'm coming to kill. I try and be as dynamic as possible, depending on what my mood is, depending on what I'm facing. See the Thief Ring? That was amazing. I did not know it gave you that kind of immunity. He surprised me then. But unfortunately, he's using those twin daggers that everybody smashes the same button with. So I think I know how this is going to end. But he's doing his dueling stances. He's done a million taunts. We're ready to fight. I just need the formal letter. And then I test the waters, and I get spammed to death. So we know what this guy's going to do. We just have to beat it. So, try and interrupt it, and stop it. Works every time, guys. If you know somebody's going to press a button after the flinch, you will always parry them. Use it to your advantage. Interesting. This is a guy wearing that hat. That strange Crystal Mage hat. He's also got that weapon, which is cool. And on a 1v1, that weapon's going to get him killed. Oh, there it was! Roll attack can definitely be parried. Is that dead? That's dead. So this is a guy wearing Morn helmet and using a katana. Okay. What's he doing? Oh, he's got lightning spears. Cool. You never see those because they're apparently very shit. But it's nice to see it. This is cool too. He uses the vestiges of the Chaos Bed, which is essentially, I think, Forbidden Sun. But I'd never seen it at this point, so I'm like, what the fuck is he throwing at me? This is cool. And this guy, you know, I love people that pull out stuff I've not seen. You know, because I love the penis like that. And that was just me getting him with frame advantage. I knew he was going to swing, so I just beat him with speed. GG, brother. And here we go, gang squad, or co-opers, potentially a bit of both, in the swamp of all zones. And guess what? I put my dagger on for this very moment. I want to get some footage here because I think this will be cool, because they get movement penalty and so do I. So, 2 katana guys and a horse with a shotelle. So I'm going to take them towards the curse frogs, and because I think I'm going to put my... do they chase me? Ooh, the phantoms are chasing me. Nice. That's what we want. Chase me. Chase me. You'll just have to chase me. Chase me into the bad place. Get cursed. Here it comes. I'm going to put it on now. So I'm going to drop the machete because I want to be quick, and I'm going to put the dagger on for the dash. And now I'm ready to cause some havoc. So they're going to continue on the level to go towards where the Dark Wraith is, and I'm going to try and cut them off thanks to my advanced technique here of moving through the water a little bit quicker. It's going to drain all my abilities if I want to use them, but it's cool. We're not really much of an ability-using kind of player at the moment. And I'm finally into water that's not going to slow me down. So you'll notice the phantoms are off. And I'm off too. I am stalking the herd of wildebeests. I'm trying to cut them off on the... is it svelte, I think you call it? I forget the name of it. Oh, here we go. This guy's going down. You're mine, son. His buddies are coming. Come on, slugs. Help me, slugs. Host is here. Host is... gotta get me. With a crazy-looking shotelle. I love the look of that shotelle. And I'm off. Are they going to follow? No. Taunt all you want, you bitch. I don't give a shit. I'm going to shove my sword up your ass if I can. Then I'm going to drown your friends in this swamp. This is how this will end. You know it. I know it. The viewers watching know it. So I pop a quick blossom. The host, for some reason, runs away from his phantoms, which I'm all for. I'm going to go for his phantoms. Because if I can get rid of them by baiting them in, we can hopefully punish them. Roll attack. Oh, and it was there. Oh no, I turned to the dagger. Why did I do that? Oh, he would have been dead. He would have been dead. That is a +6 dagger. It's about as painful as a face full of chips. Oh, why did I do that? Damn it. GG game, GG. He doesn't do the standard. He tries to backstab or something. Fuck that guy. He's probably a terrible human being. Oh! Poise parry, son. See you later. So there's 1 anyway. Could have been 2. And then I can win this. I can win this. I know I can win this. Just gotta get out. Gotta get out. Get that life back. Get out of there. I get out. It's perfect. Everything's going great. And he friggin' Savion! The worst feeling in the world is knowing you could have won and you never got to try. And you'll die, maybe. You know, it's how it works. This is great, too. I feel so bad for this man, but there's nothing more hilarious than having every enemy in the level with you while you chase him. And I'm sorry, guys, if it offends you or if it insults your honor and your Bushido and your fucking all that nonsense, Tom Cruise, Last Samurai. But there is nothing dumber than chasing a poor host through a level with a million ads behind you. Because it's terrifying, it's ridiculous, and it's always funny. And this guy, bless him, did really well. Like, he's doing everything he can to survive, and it's just what this game is about. He's trying to get out. That was a combustion that should have been a parry. We'll learn from our mistakes as the skeleton helps me gank him. And then he does it again, and we say no, and we put him down. But up until that point, is that not the dumbest thing you've ever watched? It's so much fun, too. It's never not fun. But we're back to trying to invade in Lothric. I haven't got the princess killed, so you'll notice that I'm being invaded. I'm trying out the bonfire sword weapon. I hate it. The only move about it that I like is the one that fires the fire. Everything else is just a great sword that I do not think is worth using. And the reason I went with a quality build, this guy's doing a lot of charge R2s, you see that? It's because I wanted to use all the weapons. I wanted to be able to put anything on and get footage from anything. He's trying to backstab me too. I go for the parry, but it doesn't work because he dead angles me. Which, I don't know if he meant to dead angle me, but it was pretty clever. He's going for the parry, I go for the punish, it doesn't quite work. And then he chugs, which, you know, it happens, folks. We cannot assume that people aren't going to heal when the healing is active. So we've just got to punish it. And unfortunately, see what I mean when I say you can't really punish? What was I doing? No! Oh my god, I'm so bad. This guy's trying to parry me. Big time. But we get the backstab, and it activates his Tears of Denial. So we're now going to deny his denial, and hopefully clip him. I get a weird backstab whiff there, which is really frustrating, but it's okay. If this was me playing now, I would break this guy's shield by using the weapon skill, and I'd just get the riposte and kill him. He keeps going for the parries, and it's so predictable, it's not working. I don't know why he's doing it. It's really dumb, too. Like, I would put a whip on, or I would put an ultra greatsword that you can't parry. He tries to go for Wog. Imagine that. Like, everything else has failed, and he pulls Wog out when I'm using a longsword. Has this guy not PvP'd at all? These weapons stop God. There's no wrath here. There's just my blade, son. Jump attack. Can't parry them. Although I really wish you could, as we get another host who's not animating. And you'll notice that I've popped on a side rapier just to experiment. This guy has a great shield, and I do not know at this moment just how good they are. It's funny too, because I was listening to streamers at this point while I was invading, and all they were doing was bitching about the being too good. Like, you know, you can't break them, there's no what you can do. And I wasn't really watching their fights, so I didn't see what they fully meant. And I'm 100% guilty of thinking that they were just not doing it right. I thought, well, why aren't you kicking them? You know, why aren't you doing 1 attack, 2 attack, kick? Why aren't you wearing those rings? Why aren't you wearing everything you can to break it? And I was completely wrong. And I have to apologise to every one of those people I was watching who had problems. And I was just like, well, why aren't you doing it right? Why aren't you doing the counter to it? And then I came up against one myself, and I did those counters, and they didn't work. And that was when I realised just how strong they were. But this is crazy, this. 2 purples getting in there. These are my favourite kind of invasions when shit gets nuts. And now we get to gank him. And in Dark Souls 1, if you've watched any of my forest videos, I refuse to gank. I wouldn't do it. This isn't Dark Souls 1. I've come into this game with none of that preconceived nonsense. I'm just playing the game, I'm going for the kill, and I'm having fun. And I recommend you do the same, because if you get so caught up on all the bullshit, it's just going to leave you being miserable, because there's more people who want to just play the game than there is who want to abide by how you play. But this is a great example of me experimenting with some weapons and coming up against a guy who has a shield that I cannot break. And at this moment, I wasn't doing a great job of breaking it, but even so, it's pretty ridiculous how good this is. I also didn't realise you could do that awesome combo with the glaives, where you do 1R1 into the right trigger skill, which keeps them stunned for ages and can almost be a one-shot. But he chugs, so I chug too. We're both back up to high life. I do a hit, he's going to swing, or go for the backstab, because it seems to be how he likes to play. I do the weird R2, and then he does get the backstab, so GG for that. I have no idea how he lands backstabs, because they never work for me. Never work. Everybody just rolls out. He's using a Black Knight sword, which is pretty cool. So I chug. He's at close to full life. I've popped the Dark Sword on to experiment with it, seeing as how the forums were alive with all the problems. And you'll notice it forced him to roll, so maybe he was close to breaking the old stamina. But it's such a good defense, and it's really nice to see that the great swords are good. But you know when you can't get through them? It's like, what are you meant to do? I wish the kick broke everyone's guard, because it's so fucking slow. If you get kicked, you're bad. You're bad. You know, you were playing not great, and you deserve to have your guard broken. I've been kicked, you've been kicked, it's happened to all of us at some point. The kick is so slow that outside of lag, there is no reason to ever be kicked. Unless, like, you're in a stun lock and they accidentally kick. I mean when you're holding your shield up. Because all you have to do is roll. Or tank it. Entirely up to you. You can even try and beat it with frame advantage. Because you'll trade, and the kick does no damage. There's no excuse to be kicked. Other than, you should have avoided it. And it's just... to me, it's a fact. So I would love them to make the kick a guard break, rather than, here's a set amount of stamina break, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Because then, this guy would be fucking dead. Even though technically I haven't landed a kick yet. But do you know what I mean? When they know they can hide behind this shield and it works, it's such a frustrating feeling. Because you know he's got 15 flasks, you know the shield is incredibly strong, you know the kick is a piece of shit, even this scrub can dodge it. You know, and this is a guy trying to play the game, he doesn't want a PvP, he's trying to get all his buddies in and go and kill a boss that's probably going to kill him. Because unfortunately, you know, this is how he chooses to play, so he never learns roll timings, he never understands bosses completely, and he just gets 4 phantoms and gangbangs everything. Like, watch this too, this is weird. No animation, man. And I'm just like, parry, hope, pray, don't die, swing, swing for the fences. Go on, Danny boy, do it. Die, please, die. 1 swing, 2 swing, 3 swing. Are you gonna die? Are we gonna win? Did I win? Did I win? Oh, what? Oh, no, yeah. Doing the scat, man. And we get a vertebra, and I don't know what's happening. This is weird. But this is Invasions, guys. This is what it's all about. Oh, look at the top left. I've been seeded. I didn't realise either. This was my first seed experience. Watch this. That is about as rough as it gets. My god. This was one of the worst days for invading in the game for me. because I was trying out a bunch of different weapons that I wasn't very comfortable with, like the Black Knight Glaive, which is only +4 or +3, because I was experimenting with level range and weapon range. Apparently in this game, you're ranked to other people via your level and the strength of your weapons. So I was wondering, as I'm going to get killed by the fire, because it's going to happen, I cannot heal. I was wondering if I put weaker weapons on, would it pair me with people who didn't have stronger weapons, and see how well that worked, and see if it was any different. And I just ended up getting a bunch of people who did massive damage to me, and I did no damage to them. And I was really confused. And it was a lot of this. It was a lot of people trying to go for the boss, and me getting in some really bad spots of... At this point, I didn't know I had a fantastic tool under my belt, which is the Glaive's R1 into skill that can kill big groups of people. And these dudes just straight up outplaying me with phantom range and damage, and pretty rough.